to play number 7. Isn't that weird? Somebody, we need the strength, we need water. And the time that you're supposed to have your break, 6 p.m. in the afternoon, that is the time that you will be in the rugby field. So normally when we finish 8 and 9, then I will have my first water and then my food for 2 weeks. Now, come Saturday after 2 weeks, then our coach at that time, he was one of the top flankers in Fiji, from the Narongga province, and he announced, today we will test one of our newcomers in number 7. So the number 7 for Fiji and number 7 for Nadi will move to number 6. So the number 6 have to sit on the bench. Then I start to see that the hands of God work in rugby field. Amen. And I start to love sharing in our rugby training. Before we go to the ground, we will pray, and after training, we'll come and pray and go on for some times, and then be one of the top rugby club in our district in Nadi. Not only that, to make my testimony fast forward, in 2000, I start to involve with our national team. I start to become a pastor in our national team, not only in 7-a-side, but also in the 15. And I was encouraging them, telling them, for Islanders, we have very quick temper, because when we face the Tier 1 team, they are very smart in professional fouls where the referee and the linesman do not see. Now we have a camera and the rewind that you can't hide anything in the rugby field. But in those days, they are very smart in doing technical fouls, and we respond by openly maybe punching or kicking or headbutt. And I was telling them, only the word of God will keep your temper down, and you are in your good sense to play for the ball and not to play for the man. So I was becoming a pastor for the 7-a-side and also for the 15. One of the achievement that we always remember, and I always share, I also share in Bucharest last night. In 2005, when we have the Hong Kong World Cup, and the Team Fiji was, I think, one of the oldest team in rugby, and our coach is Wayne Pivek, all the way from New Zealand. I don't know, I think he's coaching in Wales at the moment, for the Wales team. For 15 coaches to come and coach one of the top 7-a-side rugby team in Fiji, in the world, Fiji. So people were asking questions, and the media coming in, they said, oh, this Del Sao, this Bongo, this Rawanga, not this Rawanga playing here, one of the cousins. And they were like maybe flat on their rugby time, or they are going down the hill. And when we joined together, and I was advising them, every evening we have a church service. Every 5 o'clock in the morning, we have a church service before they go for their breakfast. Now, come the Hong Kong in 2005. And they won the Hong Kong out against all odds. Fiji won the World Cup in Hong Kong. Not only that, when I work with the airline, when we stuck with the pilots, there's maybe wrong rostering or somebody sick leave at the last minute, and their agreement with the pilot, you're not supposed to call them if they are off duty or outside their standby. You can't call them. If you call them, then all the F and all the B will come through the telephone. But I start to realize when I pray and call, no, nobody will say no. We haven't canceled any flight. For about 17 years, I work with the airline as a manager with the operation division. I start to see the hands of God.